Hello everyone, this is Yashveen from Exam Help Web. Here today I'm going to be solving paper 2 variant 3 of May June 2019 0580 mathematics. Starting with question number 1. Write 1.897 correct to 2 decimal places. So we'll have to round off 9, which would become 0, and this 8 would become 9. Question number 2. Factorize 2x square minus x. So we take x out of the bracket, which is the common value here. Open the bracket. So we take x out of the bracket, which is the common value here. Open the bracket, write 2x minus 1. Question number 3. Galileu's reaction times are measured in 2 games. In the first game, his reaction time is 1/3 of a second. In the second game, his reaction time is 1/8 of a second. Find the difference between the two reactions. So we subtract 1/8 from 1/3. So we subtract 1/8 from 1/3. Question number 4. The table shows different methods of travel for 20 people going to work. Which type of average, mean, median, or mode can be used for this information? Well, mode over here will give us the most accurate answer. So we'll go with mode, which is 10. Question number 5. Find the coordinates of the points where the line y is equal to 3x minus 8 crosses the y-axis. So minus 8 tells us, which is the constant of the equation, tells us that the line crosses the graph at 0 on x and -8 on y-axis. So here we have the coordinates. Write down the gradient of the line y is equal to 3x minus 8, which is 3. Question number 6. Calculate -12 divided by -2. This is 6. B, cube root of 2 cube plus 2. So we simply put the values in the calculator and the answer is 2.15. 7. Here is a list of numbers. From the list, write down a prime number. That can be 31. B, an irrational number, so a number which cannot be written in the form of fraction, is root of 13. Question number 8. The scatter diagram shows the number of people and the number of phones in each of 8 buildings. A. One of the buildings contains 42 people. Write down the number of phones in this building. Alright, so for that to happen, we need to draw a graph over here so that we can match the coordinates. I'll zoom in a bit. Right, I have my ruler over here and I'll draw a line with the most number of spots over here. So I'm going to join all of these dots. I'll draw a line over here. Alright, now I need to see where 42. Alright, we have 42 over here, and I'll trace it up to the graph. And now I'll match it to the y-axis, which would give us the number of phones. Right, so here we have this line meeting our graph, and then I'll trace it from here to the y-axis, and as you can see over here, this is 32. So we have the number of phones as in this building 32. Here we have the number of phones in this building as 32. B, what type of correlation is shown in the graph? Well, this is positive correlation since the points are going upwards in the right direction. Question number 9. Work out without using a calculator. Work out 12 over 35 multiplied by 7 over 9. You must show all your working and give your answer as a fraction in its simplest form. So we start off with multiplying 12 with 7. So 7 2s are 14, 7 1s are 8, 7 1s are 7, and we add 1, which gives us 8. And then we have 35 into 9. So 9 5s are 45, 3 9s are 27. We add 4, which gives us 31. So we have 84 upon 315, which when simplified gives us the answer of 4 by 15. And here we have our answer. Question number 10. Rearrange to W plus H is equal to P to make W the subject of the formula. So we have I'm opening the bracket over here. So we have 2W plus 2H is equal to P. Now I shift 2H over here, which then becomes 2W is equal to P minus 2H. And then I'll shift 2 on the right hand side, which would give us W is equal to P minus 2H divided by 2. 11. Complete this statement with an expression in terms of m. So here we have more than 3 values, which means the factorization process is going to be a bit different over here. I'll start by taking out the common values of the first values over here, which are 18m cube and 9m square. So as you can see over here, these are both multiples of 9, plus m is also common over here. So I take 9m square out of the bracket, which leaves with 2m plus 1. Similarly, the second two values can be factorized in a similar method. So I take 7, which is common, out of the bracket, 2m plus 1. So if you multiply these, if you open up these brackets, you'd get the answer over here. And since 2m plus 1 and 2m plus 1 are common over here, you can write this as 9m squared plus 7 multiplied by 2m plus 1. So this one's already written in the question, which means the remaining is 2m plus 1. Question number 12. The diagram shows a sector of a circle with radius 6.2 centimeter and sector angle 217 degrees. Calculate the area of this sector, which would be 217 divided by 360 multiplied by pi r square, which is 6.2 square, and this gives us the answer as question number 13. The diagram shows a pyramid with a square base. The triangular faces are congruent isosceles triangles. Write down the number of planes of symmetry of this pyramid, which is 4. Question number 14. One solution of the equation ax squared plus a is equal to 150 is x is equal to 7. Find the value of a. Alright, so we're going to be substituting x squared with x with 7. So we have a times 7 squared plus a is equal to 150. So we have 49a plus a is equal to 50. That is 50a is equal to 150. And a is 150 divided by 50, which is equal to 3. B, find the other situation. X over here is positive 7. The other situation can be negative 7 since the square of both of them is the same. 15. A is the point 7, 12 and B is the point 2, negative 1. Find the length of AB. So we use the formula root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square, which gives us the answer is 13.9. 16. A is equal to b into x over 2. A is 10, correct to the nearest whole number. H is 4, correct to the nearest whole number. Work out the upper bound for the value of h. So as we can see over here, we need to work out the upper bound for the value of b, which means first we'll start with making b the subject of the formula. So we have b is equal to 2a divided by h. Now as you can see over here, this is a division, so we'll need to have a as in the form of its upper bound, and h is the lower bound, so we have upper bound divided by lower bound. As we can see over here, the question states that they are all rounded to the nearest whole number. So 10 would have the halfway between 10 and 11 is 10.5, which is the upper bound. And similarly, we have 4 and the previous number is 3. And halfway between these two figures is 3.5. So this is the lower bound for 4 and we have the upper bound for 10. So we continue the formula using the formula and substituting the values of a and h, and calculating this we get the answer is 6. Question number 17. Simplify x cubed plus 5x squared over x squared minus 25. Give your answer as a single fraction. So I'm going to be factorizing this equation over here. So I'll take x out of the bracket in the numerator, since that is the common value over here, or rather x squared. Then I have x plus 5 divided by x plus 5 and x minus 5. So I cancel x plus 5 and x plus 5, which leaves us with x squared divided by x minus 5. 18. Y is inversely proportional to the square of x plus 1, which means y is equal to unknown value divided by square of x plus 1. And y is equal to 0.875 and x is 1, so x plus 1 is 1 plus 1, which is 2, and 2 squared is 4, so k is equal to 4 multiplied by 0.875, which is equal to 3.5. Now we're going to be substituting the value of k to find out y. Y is equal to 3.5 divided by x plus 1, which is 4 plus 1, that is 5, and squared gives us 25. 3.5 over 25 gives us the value of y as 0.14. Question number 19. J, K, L, and M are points on the circumference of a circle with diameter JL. JL and KM intersect at N. Angle JNK is 104 degrees and angle MLJ is 22 degrees. Work out the value of T. Alright, so as we can see over here, this angle M and L is vertically opposite to J and K, which would mean this is 104 degrees. And similarly, we can work out the values of this angle and this angle. Both of them are also vertically opposite angles. So if we subtract the sum of, or rather 104 times 2 from 360 degrees, that would give us the sum of these two triangles. Which is 152. Now by dividing this, we can figure out the value of each of these two angles. Both of them are equal and both of them are 76 degrees. Now as we can see over here, JL in the question states that JL is the diameter, which means triangle JML is a right angle triangle, and that means this angle over here JMN is 90 degrees. So now we know the size of the angles in this triangle. We can now figure out the size of this triangle MJL by subtracting the known angles, which are 180 minus 90, this right angle over here, plus 22 degrees. So this gives us angle J as 68 degrees. So if angle MJL is 68 degrees, that would mean angle MKL is also 68 degrees, since both of them are in the same segment. Alright, so now we have another triangle over here, KN and L. And since we know this one is vertically opposite to the other one, this would also be 76 degrees. So we can now find out the value of T by subtracting the sum of 68 and 76 from 180. That would mean 180 minus 68 plus 76, which is equal to 36 degrees. So angle D is 36 degrees. Question number 20a. 40 children were asked if they have a computer or a phone or both. The Venn diagram shows the results. Right, so 7 children have a computer, 8 of them have both a computer and a phone, 23 have only a phone, and 2 have none of the above. Part 1. A child is chosen at random from the children who have a computer. That would mean 7 plus 8, which is 15. Total 15 children. Write down the probability that this child also has a phone. So we have only 8 children who have both of them, divided by 15. To complete the Venn diagram. Alright, so here we have the opposite diagram. So we're supposed to complete this one. So the number of children who do not have a computer. So we have 23 over here who only have a phone. So we'll start with writing 23 over here. And the children who do not have a phone are the children who only have a computer, which are 7. And the children who do not have either a phone or a computer, that is 20, and that is 2. And the children who come into none of these categories are 8. That is, they have both a phone and a computer. B. In this Venn diagram, shade the region A union B complement intersection with C. Alright, so A union with B. Let's assume this had been A union B. So we would have shaded all of the area, all of the circle of A and B except for the part of C. But since we have intersection with C, we're supposed to be also shading the part which intercepts with C. But in the question, we have B complement. So we're supposed to exclude this part and only shade the area of A which is intercepting with C. So we also shade the rest of the C. Moving on to question number 21. A is 3, 4, 5, 0. B is 1, 4, negative 3, and 2. Find A, 5A. Which means you simply multiply 5 with all of the values of A. So 5 3s are 15, 5 4s are 20, 5 5s are 25, 5 0s are 0. B, A plus B, so we add all of the values over here. So we have 3 4 5 0 plus 1 4 negative 3 and 2. So we end up with 3 plus 1, which is 4, 4 plus 4, which is 8, 5 negative 3, which is 2, 0 plus 2, which is 2. C, A, B, so we multiply A with B. Right, starting with 3 and 4 multiplying with 1 and 3, so 3 1s are 3, minus 4 3s are 12, so 3 minus 12 gives us the answer as negative 9. And then we have 3 into 4, 12, plus 4 8s are 2, so 12 plus 2 give us 20. And then we have 5 1s are 5, negative 3 into 0, which is 0, so we remain with 5. And then we have 4 5s are 20, which plus 0, which is 20. Question number 22. ABCD is a parallelogram. N is a point on BD such that BN to ND is equal to 4:1. AB is equal to S and AD is equal to T. Find in terms of S and T an expression in its simplest form for B to D. So to move from B to D, we can either go B to C and C to D, or we can go from B to A and A to D. I'll go with the simplest form. No, wait. I'll go from B to A and A to D. Since we can see over here, AB is positive S, BA would be negative S. And so then we have D, which is AD. So we have BDS, D, negative S. B, C, N. Alright, so to move from C to N, we can either go CD to DN, or we can go from CB to BN. I think I'll go with CB to BN. As we can see in the question, BN is to ND is 4:1, which means BN is 4/5 of the whole BD, or rather, I write it as BN is equal to 4/5 of T minus S, or which is also equal to 4/5T minus 4/5S. Okay, so here we have 4/5T minus 4/5S minus T, which would give us the answer as minus 1/5T minus 4/5S. Question number 23. 160 students record the amount of time, hours, they each spend playing computer games in a week. This information is shown in the cumulative frequency diagram. So we have a graph over here. Use the diagram to find an estimate of the median. Median is the half of the value. So 50% of 160 is 80. And as you can see over here in the question, we can match the values from the graph. And this drags down to the center of 4 and 6, which is 5. So the median over here is 5. B, the interquartile range. So we have in the interquartile range, we have the difference between 75% and 25% of the total value. So 75% of 160 is 120. So I'm going to drag it over here and match it with the x-axis value, which is 6 over here. And then we subtract from this we subtract the 25% of the value, which we can find by 40%. And here we have it as 3.6. So we get the range as 2.4. B, use the diagram to complete the frequency table. Alright, so since this is a cumulative frequency graph, this means that each value on the y-axis is the result of the frequency added with the previous frequency values, which means this value is going to be the frequency itself plus 20. So let's move on to 4. Let's see what we have over here on the x-axis. We have 42, 44 and 46 over here, and by subtracting 20 from 46 we get the answer as 26. So we have our value as 26 over here. And then we have 4 to 6. Let's see what value we have with 6 over here, which is, alright, so that is 120. Now we subtract the sum of these two values from 120. And that gives us 74. Question number 24. By shading the unwanted regions of the grid, draw and label the region R which satisfies the following three equalities. Right, so we have y less than or equal to 2. So we have a straight line over here. This is supposed to be a straight line. Please excuse my sturdiness, or rather clumsiness. And then we have x less than 3. So we have a line over 3 but a dotted one, since which this is not equal to 3. And then we have x less than or equal to y less than or equal to x plus 4. And then we have 1 on x and 5 on y. Okay, so this is how the line over here is supposed to go, and I'll match these points over here. Alright, now we'll do the shading part. Alright, so we want y less than or equal to 2, so we'll shade the rest of the region over here. And then we want x less than or less than 3, so we'll shade the greater values over here. And then we have y less than or equal to x plus 4. So I'll shade the greater values over here. And then we are remaining with this region. This becomes R. Question number 25. The diagram shows two regular pentagons. Pentagon FGHJK is an enlargement of pentagon ABCDE, center O, A. Find AEK. Alright, so AEK is this angle. Now I'll start with calculating the size of the inside angles and then the outside angles. So to calculate the sum of the angles of a polygon, we have the formula n minus 2 times 180. So n is the number of sides, which is 5 over here. 5 minus 2 is 3, and 3 into 180 gives us 540, and now I will divide it by 5, which gives us the size of each of the angles in this pentagon, which is equal to 108. So here we have it as 108. Now I need to figure out the exterior angle of a pentagon, which can also be calculated by 360 divided by the number of sides of a polygon, which is 5 in our case, and that is 72 degrees. So this angle over here is 72 degrees. Now let's suppose we drew a line from D and extended it to the boundary of FK. Alright, so this angle would have been equal to 72 since they are both vertically opposite, and that would leave us with the angle between this line, these two lines, and these two lines, and both of them would be equal because both of them are bisected by similar lines. So we would have the value of the sum of these two angles as 360 minus 72 plus 72 plus this angle, which is 108, and that would give us 108, which is also vertically opposite angle to this angle. And now we divide this by 2, and this gives us the value of the angle between JO and this line. So this is 54. Now when we add 54 and 72, we find the value of angle AEK. So 54 plus 72 gives us 126. B. The area of pentagon FGHJK is 73.5 centimeters square. The area of pentagon ABCDE is 6 centimeters square. Find the ratio perimeter of pentagon FGHJK to the perimeter of pentagon ABCDE in its simplest form. So we're going to be using the similar formula over here of similar shapes. So we have ABCDE over FGHJK, and I'll root the value since this is square and we are using the similarities formula over here, and that would give us the value as 7 over 2, or 7 is to 2. Okay, so we are done with this paper. Thank you for watching.